space and quick, efficient service. Please pay us a visit for the best prices on number 16 Witklip Street, Ladana, or call us on 015-293-0707.
One Nation FM broadcasting all across Polokwane City on 88.9.
All right.
AM Karim.
All right, Polokwane, good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of the Robust View with myself, Isaac Waramuselani. Yeah, it's an interesting show. I'm actually just following the news and yeah, right. Okay, good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of the Robust View with myself, Isaac Waramuselani, right here on One Nation 88.9 FM on the only talk radio station in Polokwane, bringing you the show live from the tallest building in the province. And I will be with you up until 6:30 in the evening, so for the coming hour. Tonight on the show, we're just going to be chatting around what's been happening in our news. So on the lineup, we will be talking about Matamela Ramaphosa's third cabinet reshuffle, and then we'll be discussing the increased repo rate and what it means to you. And lastly, we'll recap on state capture, particularly on why does the BLF want Pravin out. This is something that we were supposed to talk about yesterday, but due to time we were not able to. But tonight we will try and talk about it so we actually understand, because I do believe there's a lot about what the EFF is saying about Pravin Gordhan, but we don't know why was BLF protesting to begin with, whether they are sharing the same sentiments or not. We'll see. We will hear about it. Okay. There's a saying that I want to start the show with, and the saying goes, the first casualty when war comes is the truth. So in times of war, the truth is the one that suffers. The truth is the one that is in danger. And we see this a lot. We see this currently with what's happening between the EFF and the ANC, that there's a lot of allegations and going around of what the facts is and what the truth is, what reality is. The media now is in participating in delivering, they're throwing investigating reports every single day about what's happening with what political party and what. Well, and again, we were dealing with VBS, and now we're dealing with state capture, and now there's this VBS versus state capture discussion as to which is a bigger crime than the other one, and that's where we are. Again, we're also dealing with the issue of diverting own wrongfulness by pointing out wrongfulness somewhere else. So, for instance, we see that people say, "Fine, we get it. There's crime on our side, or there's wrongfulness on our side, but it's not as big as the other guys." So you've got this diversion of who wronged community, or who robbed, or who corrupted, how much, and at the end of the day, you can tell that people aren't in this for the principle. They're in it. They're in this for their own personal gain. Yesterday, I did say that one of the things we need to admit as society, as South Africans, is that none of this that is happening has to do really with us. I don't actually think they actually really care about the common people on the ground, the ordinary citizens, us that actually suffer from this. This other issue I'll keep on rehearsing and talking about. This is a question of ownership of land upon amendment. A lot of South Africans are thinking, and including myself, that the amendment of Section 25 means ownership of land. But at the same time, when the ANC came forward and talked to us about this and what the EFF has proposed, they spoke about how land should be owned by the state. No one should own the land, but we should go to the state if we want occupation. So the conversation about do we get land ownership or being leased to the land is one that we ought to have a direct conversation on. And hopefully the coming weeks I will be able to do so on this particular show. The fourth thing is the repo rate has increased, and we will talk about it on this show. And we need to understand how detrimental is this for the man on the ground. This is really important. So these are the things that, as a listener, you need to understand and see how you can be able to pull through. Lastly, there's a chance that next week, Wednesday, oil prices might decrease. But then the repo rate increase also raises a lot of questions that hopefully they don't mess around with that hopeful dream of petrol price decreasing by more than R1, because we really need it this December. So do join us in the conversations by sending your comments and questions. Sending a WhatsApp text on 0720817974. That's 0720817974. Or phone in studio and talk to us on 011-880-2434. Let's talk. Let's talk more about this. Tell me what you think about today's cabinet reshuffle. Tell me what you think about the repo rate. I mean, I made a joke on Facebook to say, Slay Queens, tell me what you know about repo rate. But if you think about it, a lot of South Africans are not aware. And you listening, you might be aware and you can explain better. And so I believe it's imperative that you can phone in and let's chat about this. 011-880-2434. 0720817974. It's the WhatsApp. Or send a voice note, send a text message, and I'll read them for you. Okay, we're going for an ad break, and then when we come back, let's talk more on the cabinet reshuffle.
Also,
it's good to know that you can go to one trusted store for all your techno needs. Take a trip to Alcel Polokwane CBD to view a wide range of quality and branded computers, printers, scanners, air conditioning, IT accessories, networking, cartridges, and so much more. Alcel is also a supplier of bulk airtime. Situated at 16 Risik Street, shop number 2, or call 015-297-8666 for reliable and friendly service. Alcel, your techno-savvy store. Our price is our pride.
Are you looking for property? Well, look no further. AMC Property Sales is the best deal in town. Whether you are selling, buying property, looking for property investment, or simply rental collection, AMC Property will definitely deliver. Call us on 015-293-1667 or find us at 16 Woodcliffe Street, Ladena. For the best deal in town, call today and save money.
Art Printers and Stationers Polokwane, the preferred printing and stationery outlet for quality printing and more. Art Printers and Stationers are also stockists of a wide range of office furniture, rubber stamps, and a unique range of trophies and medals. We fulfill your personalized promotional item needs and are the ideal stop for school and corporate gifts, as we do laser engraving. Visit us in Polokwane or our website www.artprint.co.za. 88.9 FM. Welcome to the People Station. One Nation FM.
All right, we're back. If you just tuned in, you are listening to the Robust View on One Nation FM right here in Polokwane. Let's start with the cabinet reshuffle, and you know it's pretty interesting because first of all, I'm not particularly happy with the term cabinet reshuffle. You have to feel, because you're thinking, people are going to be moved around, but that's not what happened, right? That's not what happened, and I think we've normalized this term cabinet reshuffle to just mean anything that has to do with the president and has to do with ministers, new and old one coming in, because that's not what we've witnessed there. Is not a cabinet reshuffle at all. What we witnessed there was just appointment of new ministers to replace those that have resigned. So I think we need to get what the actual description of what cabinet reshuffle is, and so we don't just use it all the time and when it's not necessary. All right. So to talk more about the cabinet reshuffle, let's start first with Sibabalo Mtonga. Sibs, good evening and welcome to One Nation FM in Polokwane.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. let's just get straight into the issues. What's your reaction on the overall so-called cabinet reshuffle?
Well, my take for me in terms of the cabinet reshuffle basically is that there hasn't really been much change, in the cabinet. Because the idea of the cabinet reshuffle is that it ought to be like a response to a problem. For example, if it's an issue of incompetency, then if there's any changes that are made to the cabinet, it ought to be responded to that. And one of the problems we're currently facing is this widespread of looting, and like an executive that is not reflective or that is not accommodating our young people. And still, even with today's appointments, we still didn't see anything that's responding towards those two problems. So I don't see much of a change. Our problems are still as is as from yesterday.
You think it's still a cabinet reshuffle? Or, I mean, he says the reason for this cabinet reshuffle is because they wanted to replace ministers who, unfortunately Edna Malewa passed, and also the resignation of Ugigaba. But that's not a cabinet reshuffle. It's just filling out vacancies.
Yeah, no, definitely. It wasn't a cabinet reshuffle. It was just an appointment to fill up the two vacancies. But I still believe that even with the two vacancies, that could have still been, could have been done to address that. There are still ministers, for example, who are in the executive but had already, committed several acts of like misconduct in the past, and they're still in the executive. Do you understand? So there's not really much of moving out people and getting new people in. It just becomes an issue of just filling up the vacancies. But even the filling up itself is not, inclusive of our young people or even new people that are competent. We know for sure they're going to bring much change to the political sphere.
And I mean, taking the conversation forward on ministers that South Africans believe have not been performing, and I think you're speaking about the likes of Bathabile Dlamini, who a lot of people were expecting to be chucked out, but her not a word about her, her position, and also the fact that Nomvula Mokonyama has been moved to another ministry. Does this say that Uthumamina is not really in charge here?
Yeah, no, that's the reality of executive positions. Basically, one, like the Constitution itself speaks about the power being in the president of appointing ministers, but the reality is that the power lies with the party itself. You understand? So the president might not agree with a certain minister, but he still has, to consult the party itself before making a decision of appointing. So he's not really in charge, and this is like an argument that I made even when he was appointed as president, because everyone thought that he'll be able to change everything, and they forget that once the problem lies with the party, or lies with the people that you need to consult with, then it doesn't necessarily solve the problem to who's the face, because the face does not make the decision by himself. He only needs to go back and consult, his team. Then he needs to execute it, which has already been decided by the national executive of the ANC, and that's basically reflective of that even now, that he doesn't have the necessary powers to decide who he appoints, but he just basically rubber stamps a decision by the National Executive Committee of the ruling party.
One thing which also was in the minds of many South Africans, and I'm speaking this because I was evaluating, analyzing what was happening on Twitter specifically, was that people were anticipating that certain ministerial departments have to be merged because they believe that there's unnecessary posts, there's duplication of posts, and that actually factors more in terms of service delivery, and also just the fact that we're just wasting money on positions that shouldn't exist. What's your take on only two departments merged as opposed to a whole list that could have been merged?
Well, like to a certain degree, I do understand as to why they've only merged two for now. Because the thing with closing a department or like a ministerial department basically comes with a lot of consequences. For example, there were people who were employed under that minister. So once you close the department itself, you need to have a plan as to where, because it's not just an issue of the minister, but the department itself, the people who've been working under the department, where are they going to go? Do you understand? So I think I think the reason why only two departments have emerged thus far was because the president was